This is the United Uprising channel. Welcome to today's show. I decided I'm going to put up the video that got removed from my other channel. I'm not going to put anything in this video that would relate to that being removed because I don't want the algorithm to read it. But I did have a video that I uploaded about Duran Duran. Who really cares, right? Well, apparently they do. Probably because of the hotel I go into mention in the video. So I'm going to take a chance and get a strike because I made this video so everybody could see it. I obviously make videos that are exclusive for the website where I know I can't upload them here, and my intention is for the people on the website to see them. So this was a video I intended to put on YouTube for everyone to see, so I'm going to put it up. I know there's a chance it gets a strike. I removed a few parts from the video that I thought might generate the strike or might have been what generated the strike, just little small parts of mentions of certain islands, etc., which may have been why, I'm not sure, as well as some of the photographs in the picture that depicted Johnny Depp in this movie where he was drinking some red stuff. So I think I've known from, or seen and learned from experience using that movie and footage from that movie and even mentioning of that certain thing that's red that they like to drink really is a problem with the algorithm. So I removed some of those things, but the video is pretty much in full. There's nothing of importance that I took out. I just took out a couple of slip of the tongue type of things where I made reference and gotten in trouble for it. So anyway, I made the video for you guys to see, so I'm putting it up here. If it gets a strike on this channel, it'll only be a warning strike, so I can still upload here. However, before you watch this video, please make sure you're subbed to A Call for Vengeance, the other channel link below. That'll be where I go after this one. You might as well sub to it now. Trying to build that one out as well. Here's the video. I hope everybody out there enjoys. God bless you all. It is not an ordinary world. And for the times I've said over and over again that many people have questioned, is it everybody that's in on it? This video will just confirm to you that it is everybody that's in on it. Now, I always cover anybody that's currently producing music, mainly for the purpose of reaching young people out there. And a lot of the times, the older people will say, well, back when I was younger, these people weren't corrupted. These people weren't in the occult. No, they've always been. They've always been since music had become the big pop culture sensation that it is. Yes, music has always existed, but not the way that it exists now, or not with the influence that it has over people. And of course, us allowing spellcasting to become more and more normal and to be told that this isn't spellcasting, it's just music. We've all accepted that. Thus, we've gotten into this mess that we are currently in. So I want to cover this band because they have a new song out there. This is Duran Duran. A lot of you are familiar with Duran Duran. Some of you are not, but I guarantee you at some point in your life, you've probably heard a Duran Duran song because this is the type of music, if you don't like it, you've probably heard it getting your hair cut at a grocery store, in an elevator. Here's a few clips of some of their songs so you at least know who I'm talking about in regards to the band Duran Duran. So those are some famous songs: Ordinary World, Hungry Like the Wolf, Come Undone. I think one's called Say a Little Prayer, Save a Little Prayer. They have a lot of songs that were popular in the 80s. And these people are only famous just like people in today's society who are famous, musicians, actors, etc., because they're part of Freemasonry, part of secret societies, part of the occult. These are influencers, right? So they have a new music video out. The new music video is entitled Black Moonlight. And of course, it's about black magic. Why wouldn't it be, right? People out there still like to think that it's just new current people. These people continue to get rolled out. You know, I just covered Kiss, right? Everyone was saying, wow, and they're still out there. They're still around. What was Kiss doing before their last album? Well, they were promoting that magic potion because they're trying to influence their audience. That's what social engineers do. So I'm going to show you all the Baphomet satanic stuff in their video. And I'm going to give you a quick rundown on the members of the band Duran Duran. There's Simon Le Bon. Okay, Simon Le Bon, you might say, I've never heard of Simon Le Bon. Well, he's one of the singers, one of the guys and famous, frontmen of Duran Duran. And he actually made a list recently. Yeah, he made a list. You might see him holding up the 666 sign on your screen, holding up his knuckles with his satanic ring on. What was the list he was on? He was on a list of people who attended an island who, well, the person on that island supposedly was whacked. I believe he's still alive, living amongst the bagels. It's no coincidence, I don't think, that Duran Duran has a song called Girls on Film. Right? What was he talking about? Girls on Film. Well, now you can start piecing the things together when you find out what these people are involved in, because they're all involved in the same stuff. It's the most, it's the biggest ruse that's ever been pulled, right? It's been pulled over, the wool has been pulled over our eyes, right? Satan has blinded the minds of the unbelievers and the believers, because a lot of people out there just truly cannot wrap their head around the occult and their influence on society and how they're all in these positions. They all are. So Girls on Film, I'm sure he was just referencing, what? I mean, is there even an excuse for a name like that? I mean, boys on film, girls on film. But what's the first thing most people are thinking? It's not women on film, which would still be creepy. Girls on film. For grown men to even have a song like that, it's very disturbing. And of course, the other member of the band is Jeff Thomas. You can see Jeff Thomas doing the Illuminati all-seeing eye symbolism. You can see the Freemasonic hand symbolism, of course, where these guys put their hand. Sometimes, they do the hidden hand. Like I'm sure you've seen Prince Harry, one of those guys. All of them, they do it. They hide their hand. Kanye West, I've covered that in the past. They also do the hand over the heart, which is pledging, of course, an allegiance. Does that sound familiar? Like we've all been indoctrinated with in the school system. So this guy doing the all-seeing eye symbols, of course. What else is he doing? Oh, well, he's doing the shh, right? Shh, because I guess he just farted too. He's got a nice perm going and lipstick, I guess they were really starting that movement back then, which, I mean, you can look at a lot of the 80s musicians and they were doing that, but obviously, the finger over the mouth is the vow of secrecy, the oath of silence that all of these members of the occult take. Okay, they show us this stuff out in public. This is how they mock us. This is how they reveal themselves. But the common person does not see the signs and symbols. Only those of us with eyes to see and ears to hear. So, let's take a look inside the satanic music video, okay? It's called Black Moonlight. You can see Black Dog Films makes it. What is that in the corners there? Oh, right. Those are tarot cards of the devil and the magician. You might be familiar. The tarot cards, of course, is a part of sorcery and mediums and all sorts of satanic stuff that we've been told is just cool and neat, right? Sorcery, this is stuff the Bible warns against, summoning invocations, all this type of crap that the Satanists do and pretend that they don't. You can see the two cards on the left and the right. That is the devil, Baphomet, and of course the magician, where even in the magician card, you can see other symbols. This is stuff people don't pick up on. You got roses for your Rosicrucian, but you really have the pentagram on the table there, which shows you, of course, the pentagram being connected to magic, right? And the infinity sign over his head. I've talked about the infinity sign in the past. I know probably anybody who's still listening to it probably doesn't even remember those videos when I used to just expose signs and symbols with the infinity sign. Infinite. These people believe that they're infinite, that they constantly are reborn. And that, of course, is their orders, their secret orders that they're referencing. We see the infinity sign. Obviously, we know infinity a car. It's a common symbol. We've seen people wear jewelry with it. They don't even know what they're doing. They're like, I'm wearing an infinity sign. Oh, what does it mean? They're like, it means infinity. So why are you wearing it? Oh, Toy Story, Infinity and Beyond? No, of course they're wearing it because they don't have a clue that they're wearing stuff that's involved in sorcery and witchcraft. The majority of society don't. And then when you tell them this, they get mad at you, roll their eyes, and tell you that you're crazy, or then they try to defend themselves and saying, oh, I didn't know that. I probably shouldn't wear this and invite spirits into my home and, possibly into my body. No, I'm sorry. I thank you for letting me know. No, instead they get all butthurt about it, and they want you to know that they don't really worship the devil, so they're allowed to wear all the signs and symbols again. That most of these people have pentagrams tattooed on their body and don't even know why. So, we can get into that, but let's get into this with the Black Moonlight. So, right at the beginning of the video, they show you Duran Duran's logo in reverse, okay? This is Aleister Crowley, Law of Reversals. If you don't know, Law of Reversals, they do things and are taught to do things backwards. This is part of black magic, okay, how they operate. They always show you these types of things, the moonwalk, etc. All this stuff that we know in normal pop culture stems from Aleister Crowley. Aleister Crowley, who's most famous to me for writing in his books about what you're supposed to do with kids, including disgusting acts that you can't even imagine, as well as sacrifice. Of course, Aleister Crowley might be known to you because, well, you might not have remembered, but you probably heard of the West Memphis Three, who were arrested for murder. And, of course, all the celebrities came out and got them out of jail. And they found a blood oath to Aleister Crowley inside of their home. And his books teach all this stuff. And, of course, that should have been enough evidence in my book to convict them for life and probably get that old chair that's electric out. But those days are long gone. In today's world, we let them out. Instead of private justice back in the old day when witches and Satanists were found, the citizens took care of it. They took care of it with private justice. Now, well, they not only are they allowed out of prison, they don't even get arrested for these crimes because the system's been set up to protect them, and you can find that out inside of books that start with the word Protocol of the Elders, something like that. You might have heard of it. I talk about that on the website. Can't talk about it here because they don't want you to connect the dots and realize the truth. So, Duran Duran, of course, with the backward symbol. And, of course, right above it, you do have the Baphomet. case anybody out there wanted to say they didn't have the Baphomet, don't worship the Baphomet, or the Baphomet's great. There's the Baphomet right there with the upside down pentagram, right in the middle of the logo that's reflecting as above, so below, going backwards with their little reflection there. Then in the video here, it takes place, they claim it takes place at Chateau Marmont. Okay? And I just want to note that at Chateau Marmont, you might remember some videos I've done too. I shouldn't constantly say that, but I like to bring these up to people so they could kind of, I've made thousands and thousands of videos so that their brain might say, oh yeah, I do kind of remember that. Well, Chateau Marmont, I covered in a video about Marilyn Manson, who was in this specific video, was talking about how he wanted to create a Tinder for kids. Yeah, Marilyn Manson, who's hanging out with Kanye West, who's a born-again Christian who's trying to convert people. I mean, give me an utter break.
See, I was trying to come up with a new Tinder for kids. Kinder. It's like for sexy kids. Oh, okay, well, let me just look at that very specifically because you just point out several rooms in this. They're very important. Because we're Hunter S. Thompson, Benicio del Toro, Nick Nolte. I'm going to keep name dropping. Johnny Depp, myself, Harry Dean, San Champagne, all hung out together. And Hunter S. Thompson had a bandage on his hand, and there was a hole in the window. Over here is where I met a girl that has 3 names, like Lee Harvey Oswald, Evan Rachel Wood. And then normally, I've never been to this castle part, but Chateau Marmont is very close to my house, and I love Chateau Marmont.
But anyway, he's talking about Chateau Marmont, where this video supposedly takes place, and I'm going to get into the video. Trust me, there's just so much stuff to uncover. He talks about up in these rooms when he was hanging out with Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, one of the people who helped free the West Memphis 3, because if you're a celebrity, you can free people from prison. Of course, that's only based on influence and being in the occult. And he talked about Hunter S. Thompson. You might know Hunter S. Thompson. He's the guy at Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, I believe it's called. The Weeknd paid homage to him in a video. He's known for doing a lot of disturbing stuff with kids, has his own personal photographer who was doing a lot of that stuff too. They all rub shoulders together. I'm sure Jared Leto was in the room as well. But in the clip, he talks about the rituals that were done in there, but he really is just talking about how they were all partying. But what's interesting to note is how they're all friends with one another. Sean Penn, Johnny Depp, Marilyn Manson, Hunter S. Thompson. What's the connection that makes them all friends? Oh, they're famous? No, because nobody even knows who Hunter S. Thompson is. The connection, of course, is that they're all in the occult. And some of these people who are high-ranking wizards and witches, like Thompson, hang out with those people for that reason. That's where their money comes from. You say, how does he have so much money? Well, they traffic. They make art. That's one of the biggest jokes I've ever heard. So now we get to the video, right? Video starts off, what are they doing? Well, they're using the Ouija board. Of course, we've been taught that the Ouija board is, what have we been taught about the Ouija board? Oh, right, it's, fun. Milton Bradley, whoever makes it, right? We spring it in our home. Oh, and then when stuff happens with the Ouija board, like it actually moves on its own, people just think it has something to do with a magnet. Of course they do. In the background, you'll also notice the monarch butterflies. Yeah, gotta have your little MK Ultra in there, right? Because all the musicians all just happen to love butterflies. They got them tattooed on their butt. They have them tattooed on their arm. They're just always posing with butterflies. Of course, this is referencing MK Ultra and the Monarch program. Then, of course, they flash an eyeball because everybody's always known that Duran Duran, before they made all those elevator hits, wanted to be optometrists. They flopped and failed at it, unfortunately. So they made music instead. Of course, they're just letting you know that they're in the secret societies. That's what the eyeball stands for. It's on the back of the dollar bill. You're not supposed to know about it. So as they're doing the Ouija board and flashing their eyeballs and showing you their love for optometry, we see people demonically possessed. Well, of course we do. Why wouldn't we, right? Because they're summoning spirits. That's what the Ouija board does. So it makes sense. And of course, then it starts to make more sense when we see people inside of this home, inside of, or I should say, the chateau. We see black and white Masonic checkerboard floors, because this is how they let us know who they are, right? They're summoning spirits, the black and white Masonic checkerboard. You might say, what's that? Well, that's the checkerboard the Freemasons use, the secret society in your town who worship the devil and don't tell you that because they're inside of every single town. Then they infiltrate the church, et cetera, et cetera. They have a lot of them inside the church that they use words like, and you can see in their floor, faith, hope, and charity. All deceptions I've exposed. Their faith is in Lucifer. They always talk about charity. Their books teach about philanthropy. The reason that all of the, if you see people who are over the top with the philanthropy, okay, specifically celebrities, that's because they're trained to do this. This is to give off the impression that they're good, caring people, so that people out there look up to them and admire them and say, look, they're not selfish. Look, they're doing all this stuff. This is something that's been ingrained in them since they joined secret societies or indoctrinated or birthed into them in some cases. Okay, this is why when you go to PetSmart or you go to, I don't even know, I mean, you can go to Domino's, they're asking you to donate money to charity. You might have noticed that. I covered this about 6 years ago, how they were going to make this the new norm because they're making everybody like them. They're making everybody perform these Masonic traditions and have these Masonic quote unquote values, right? Your money's going to the toilet, by the way, if you're donating money anytime you check out. When they try to guilt trip you to donating cancer, it doesn't go to cancer. They know the cure to cancer, okay? They're the ones responsible for cancer by putting all the soft metals in our food, so don't fall for it. Don't let them guilt shame you. It's a scam. It's the biggest scam there is, actually, charity. It's for them, the charity, of course. The money goes back into them and their secret societies. That's a fact, like the Red Cross, which I've exposed, which is connected to witchcraft. But the reason so much so that the celebrities love it is not because of tax write-offs. It's because if it gives them the impression that they're good, wonderful people. That's why the Shriners use the children's hospitals. Okay, it doesn't mean that some of the children's hospitals that Shriners support don't help children out. It does not mean that at all, because I've seen people, they've written stuff, and I get it. Okay, it's not like they're eating all the people that are going into the hospital. Okay, it's a cover, it's a front for them to not be exposed for who they really are. If people found out that they were worshiping Lucifer back in the day, they would have taken care of it. Now in today's society, they might as well just come out and say it at this point because nobody cares at this point. Nobody seems to care. Nobody's doing anything about it. We're letting them run amok and everyone's distracted. So anyway, they're showing you the Masonic floor tiles in the video while they're doing these rituals. There you can see the connection with the Masonic floor tiles. That's why all the celebrities always use it. It's duality, as above, so below. These people literally believe their good deeds outweigh their bad deeds. As the video goes on, we see the guy with the upside down cross. This is the guy I showed you earlier doing the all-seeing eye symbolism, Jeff Thomas. Right, he's got the upside down cross. We're supposed to believe that's just because it's a scary little movie they're trying to make here. Scary little video. Okay, right? Then it goes on, of course, and the woman cuts his wrist, right? So that his blood could drip into a cup. Why? Well, because he wants to drink the blood. Of course he does, right? Because you get it? You see how this stuff works with these rituals, okay? Even though I connected the dots here where this whole thing ends where they tell you that they're at this hotel, okay? Because this is them paying homage to their buddies here because this is where they do it. So it's at Chateau Marmont, right, where you have all these people talking about, you have Manson and them talking about parties and stuff that have occurred there. They're showing you inside this video, we're doing a seance because that's what they really do in there. In the rooms that you're not allowed to go into, of course, if you're in the public. And, of course, he's drinking blood, right? And when I mentioned Hunter S. Thompson, what's he most known for? Well, that movie, Leaving Las Vegas, it was Fear and Loathing, in Las Vegas. And one of the more famous scenes, of course, is him drinking what? I'll give you a hint. It starts with Adren, okay? That's the hint you get. And the rest you find out on the website, Uprising Revival, right? So you see how all this stuff is connected and how easy it is to see when you just break it down, right? He's talking about, they're just, it's just somebody wrote it into the script, right? Not knowing and having a clue. Oh, yeah, they're going to drink blood because, of course, that's tied into Ouija boards, apparently, right? Freemasonic tiles, and then go all the way back to where they show you at the end that that chateau is where it's being filmed, not to mention the Baphomet and the magician and the devil in the intro, right? Where you have Hunter S. Thompson, who was with Marilyn Manson, all these other guys, they go to the chateau real close to his home, and you got to wonder what they do in there. And then, of course, in his movies, which are supposed to be based on his life, or the movie, I should say, based on Hunter S. Thompson's life, it's all based around him, drinking that red liquid, right? That they all love so much, Jimmy Carter, all of them. They love that red liquid, right? This is the occult in front of us, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody is in on it. There's a connection with all of them to all of it. There's nobody to leave out. There's no reason to not cover every single one. I cover whoever is out there. Duran Duran just released a video. So even though I know nobody's watching it, I mean, back in the day, I'd get more views than Duran Duran would get on the current video, at least not their old stuff. But I'm covering it because it's out there and they're still somewhat relevant. And they're showing you this stuff and exposing this stuff. This is the network of witches, warlocks, Satanists, call them what you want. The controllers in our society who are influencing the behavior of our society, and they're influencing them with occult practices, and they're showing you this stuff: demon possession, all-seeing eyes, Ouija boards, black and white Masonic tiles, upside down cross, right? Why is it always a cross? Why is it always upside down and inverted? Why is it? I never see anything about Muhammad. I don't see anything about Buddha. No, it's always a representation of Jesus Christ being mocked. Because that's the only truth in this world. And these are the enemies to humanity. These aren't the enemies that the Bible talks about when the Bible says, love your enemy as yourself, okay? These are literal pawns of the devil. And what they're doing is influencing children and other people out there. Now, Duran Duran, probably not children as much, but Marilyn Manson, the rest of them. They are the enemy to humanity. So there's your connections to Freemasonry, Duran Duran, Black Magic, Baphomet, all right in front of us every single day. Can't avoid it, even if you want to try to, because every single thing that trends or every single song that comes out, always referencing God and the devil, always showing you that witchcraft is real, sorcery is real. Otherwise, couldn't we all look at all these videos and just say, wow, they're all just writing the same thing? They can't come up. Is that the mindset? They can't come up with something different? How many of them need to reference the devil and black magic and moonlight rituals? Oh, it's quirky. You're being silly and goofy, right? Is that what they're telling us? Yeah, if you're a sucker, they're being silly and goofy. If you have a brain, you realize that they're in the occult. I thank everybody for being here. If you enjoy this channel, please make sure you subscribe to my other channels, link below. Chance I'm getting a strike very soon. I feel it coming. Usually I have good intuition with that. So please make sure you sub to the other channels if you want daily content. Also, if you like this content, please consider becoming a patron. I don't announce that very often. I do make a ton of content, not to compare myself to anybody else. But when I'm in, I'm in. I work very hard on this stuff. So if you like the content, you want to support the channel, you can. That option is out there. And of course, consider joining the website, uprisingrevival.com. Hope to see more people over. I thank everybody out there for your support. God bless all of you, as always, and your families.